Go for it, Chris.
Welcome aboard, all you wonderful groomers, pet stylists, and canine cosmetologists. You found the Traveling Groomers Podcast, where we discuss lessons learned from mobile and house call grooming. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. Any moment now, we'll be joined by my co-host and friend, retired mobile groomer and educator extraordinaire, Mary Aquendo, and very likely a special guest to help us chat about all things grooming, grooming industry related, and just plain fun digressions that I will totally wrangle back to topic. Grab those travel mugs and climb aboard to see where today's topic will bring us. Let's roll.
So apparently my dog was being too quiet and I had to rile her up right as we hit record.
Of course you did. Who's out here sound asleep?
So wait, right in the beginning, lovely listeners, welcome to episode number 219, recorded on July 14th and will be airing on July 19th. Yeah.
Okay, and there goes Reno, because, a bird just flew by.
We're fine.
And I don't know how he sees them from inside the house. But he came barreling out from the nether regions of the house because a bird swooped down in front of the deck.
Of course.
Okay. So, what shall we talk about first, Chris?
Oh, we have plans in today's episode. Our main topic is the responsibilities of a speaker at a trade show and the responsibilities of an attendee at a trade show. Are you responsible for stuff when you just show up? Maybe we'll find out. We'll have our self-care segment at the end. And I think, Mary, I said today we were starting with our very own AITA, because today was an interesting day.
Okay. Go for it, Chris.
All right. So there's been a lot of stuff going on at my house recently. A lot going on. We got a new roof. We are in the process of getting new siding, new gutters. My sister-in-law just went, nah, this is getting taken care of now, which I'm amazed and impressed by, because normally that's me that does that, but she's doing all that. And we are getting landscaped. Like the yard is getting landscaped. There's new fencing going up. There may or may not be an oil tank issue, but that's a story for another day. And
hey, listen, just to jump on your oil tank thing. If you think that possibly it might be leaking, take care of it, because the fines on that.
Well, no, we're taking care of it anyway, because we've never, when my in-laws bought the house, it had gas. So we're just getting it out and getting rid of it and watching while they do it so they don't poke a hole in it and say, oh, look, it's leaking.
Yeah, because we removed ours and it was just started to leak. But the good news is that because I bordered wetlands, my insurance nationwide picked up the cost on that, picked up the cost of the cleanup.
Oh, I'll actually have to remind her of that, to look into
Yeah,
that.
but it may have been because I border wetlands.
Well, we have the park across the street has some minor swampy bits.
Okay. Because I wasn't going to submit it to the insurance company, but the company said, you know what? Just try it. And we're like, okay, because that saved us. In fact, of all the insurance I have paid since that time and before that time, we're probably about even at this point.
Yeah. If they have to do cleanup or remediation, we're looking like $10,000+. We're looking at disgusting amounts of money.
Yes.
But that's not even where our story today leads us.
Okay.
So one of the more exciting aspects to the landscaping is we got sod. We have a lawn now. I've been mowing what may or may not have been weeds for a long time now. The lawn was not awesome. So we got sod, brand new. And we have dogs. And I didn't want to be that neighbor that had like all the signs, like all the keep off the grass and curb your dog signs, because we have dogs and I get it. But also, we just paid for sod. So I get a text in the middle of the day, call me now. So there is a pit that lives around the corner from us, whom we love, both of us love. To give you an idea of how we feel about him, in a stunning turn of events, my husband walks up to me the other day and he goes, I don't want to fight about this. There will be no discussion. There will be no argument. If they have to get rid of Zeus, we're taking him. Did we just do a Freaky Friday? What the hell just happened? You're okay. Okay. You just told me okay. We love this dog. Mary, while the contractor was still there, possibly not 100% finished putting the sod in, Zeus's grandma was walking him. Now, she maybe shouldn't be walking him because she's a little old lady. Not that little old lady, but he's a year-and-a-half-year-old pitty. He's too strong for her. He pooped on the lawn in front of the contractor. He may not have been kind when he told her to pick it up, because she didn't realize, because the dog was behind her. So she was still, walking. Yeah. He wasn't even 100% done installing it and it got pooped on. So
Claiming it as his own, but go ahead.
what was that?
He's claiming it as his own.
Apparently he loves fresh sod. He was putting it down when I left for work this morning, and he like legit took his shoes off and was like, yeah, like it's got no bugs on it. It's got no pee on it. It's got my earbuds ripped out of my ears from Licky Dog. Now, here is part of the problem, Mary.
Okay.
We have dogs. We're not even letting them pee on it. There's a park right across the street. So I feel a little bit like a jerk for putting like signs all over, like keep off the grass and curb your dog. What are you doing, woman? But dog pee is going to kill the lawn. And it's not just my house. This is something my sister-in-law paid for. Like how I'm attempting to stay professional with the dog all over my grill.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you my thoughts on it.
Uh-huh.
I don't let my dogs pee or poop on other people's property. I don't. Where I am right here, it's why I got a backyard, a dog area in the backyard for my own dogs. But when I walk them, I make sure that they're walking on wild property, or property that's not maintained. All right. So if it's an empty lot, nobody's building on it, they can pee on it. If they poop, I'm still going to pick it up.
Yeah.
All right. That's just good manners. All right. So maybe she shouldn't be walking a dog if she can't. But I will tell you,
control him.
I don't think that's exactly what I'm trying to say. I've got a lot of people in here, and I will walk past the same area that I am picking up my dog's poop, and I see other dogs poop because they're not picking it up.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just going to send people as a gift poop bags. Merry Christmas.
Mary,
Yes.
we're on the corner, almost directly across the street from us in the park is one of those nice little poles that says curb your dog that has free poop bags and a little garbage can. So there's zero excuse. There's free bags across the street.
If somebody pooped on our lawn and my husband saw it, he would be standing there asking them, are they going to pick it up or does he need to deliver it to their house?
Yeah. Yeah, we did change. We got a new security system in front. So we did change.
So the question is,
Uh-huh.
who's the asshole?
Yeah, the question is, who's the asshole? Am I, because I feel like I'm going to be that jerk in the neighborhood with those signs all over my lawn. But Mary, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And the house is going to be gorgeous when it's done. And I don't want huge discolored spots. I'm staring at my dog, waiting for her to stop with the broken giggle ball. She's not stopping anytime
She's not going to
soon.
stop.
But yeah, I'm going to feel like the jerk with those signs all over my yard. But at the same time, no. People suck, man.
All right. Somebody posted some sort of meme that the older you get, the more likely you are to start screaming, get off my lawn.
I've apparently today, we hit get off my lawn years old. Today is my get off my lawn birthday.
Okay.
July 14th, who'd have thunk it? That's how old I am today. Because then I got home from work at 8 o'clock and went, oh, I've got to water it. And it was a little relaxing. It was nice. I looked forward to coming home and watering it. I'm like, am I officially an old now? I feel like I am officially old today.
I don't know. We should maybe get you now a t-shirt that says get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. By the way, some of that noise was her slamming into the wall because she had the zoomies and she had to corner. Yeah, I think it's time for our first commercial of the day. And where did I put it? I put it here.
Everything else in the world seems to have changed. Positive Ed has too, but for the better. Online learning is here to stay, and Positive Educational Training has brought the trade show to you with Summit memberships. For one monthly price of $97, you get 6 to 10 hours of content streamed live to your sofa, or let's be honest, grooming table. Forgot to attend live? No problem. You have 6 weeks to watch at your convenience. That's 3 weeks more than non-members, and for up to $50 less than non-members paid. With a monthly support call and summits tailored to the pet industry and designed to include all learning styles, what are you waiting for? Check out positiveed.com today and get the support you need to take action in your business.
Trying to calm my dog down. I
All
even
right.
got to beware of the dog sign because once the tank is out, theoretically at some point soon we're going to have a completely fenced in yard. So there will be a dog potty area for our dogs.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
So, like everybody knows, I am really fond of technology. I love to see the new stuff that is out there. One of my favorite sites is called AppSumo because a lot of startups with new technology will put their stuff up on AppSumo. So basically, it's like the Kickstarter of the technology world, I guess, for lack of a better word. But I got some great deals on it. Most of them I use. Some of them are like, oh, well, at least I didn't spend money on the full price version of this. But it gives me like lifetime access to things. So I picked up something called Cast Magic. And what it is that you run either the audio or the video through it, and it's AI. And so if everyone's worrying about AI taking over the world, let me tell you something. I would not be holding your breath on that. It's okay at best. Okay.
So you're not holding your breath for like 90% AI written movies?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've been running the podcasts through the Cast Magic, and so you may see like an improvement in the notes because beforehand we just weren't like writing notes. So anything is going to be better, but every once in a while, and there's always editing, so it's never like 100% perfect. So there's some editing that has to happen.
Mhm.
At the last podcast, the drinking game, ran that through Cast Magic. And I was this close, holding my fingers really close together, of posting the original version of what it is they said our notes were.
Was that the live one and the really long notes you showed me that was like, Chris admits to enjoying being an asshole?
Yep. That was like one of the many lines in there that I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to post this. I'm going to post it just like this.
Yeah.
But, professionalism took over,
Okay.
regenerated it. It came out with a much better version of it that needed just some minor
Just
editing.
some minor tweaking and editing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, that's my Mary's technology notes for the week. And I just want to say, if you got new technology that you think I haven't heard yet, you tell
Oh my
me.
God. Tell her she will geek out. She will possibly get it.
I will possibly buy it.
There's like a decent shot of her buying it.
If it's an AppSumo deal that I've missed, please inform me. Yeah. Anyway,
This will happen. But I'm bum to topic.
okay.
So
You know what? Before we get into
okay.
the speakers, let's talk about like attendee responsibility, because I think that's going to be a shorter topic than the speakers.
I think there is one thing that both will have in common, but I'm
Okay.
going to save that for last.
Okay. So we're talking about you going to a trade show. All right. So what are your responsibilities? All right. Number one, pen and paper. If you're going to classes, bring pen and a paper so you could take notes. All right.
Although I see a lot of this now.
You know,
And
the
people,
the
like, I'm
trade
holding up my
shows,
phone.
the trade shows really frown on people videotaping the seminars. Just saying. I don't care. But
Yeah, I same. I don't particularly care, but I can
and I
100% see.
understand why.
Oh no, I do too. I get it.
Trade shows are overwhelming. There's so much knowledge, so much information going back and forth. And can you truly retain everything you've learned? All right. So, which is why I don't have an issue with it. In fact, many times, if I'm teaching something that I have a pre-recorded version of it, I'm going to give you access to it. All right. But there's a responsibility that if you're coming in to take classes, your responsibility is to learn. Okay. Some other things as you being responsible for your personal safety and your possessions. All right. Watch where you're putting your bag down. Okay. And I would hate to tell you, I don't think I have ever taught a class at any trade show where I wasn't bringing something to the desk, the registration desk that somebody left in the class.
Yeah, every classroom.
And
one time it was me. I came home from Idaho Falls missing my laptop charger. I disappeared somewhere in the middle of the show. I left it somewhere. Did it get turned in? No.
okay.
Ask.
Well, it's possibly got turned in, but you know what? If you're talking cords, the shows are bringing a lot of cords. If it got tossed in a pile, they just simply assumed it's theirs. But all right, be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of where you're dropping your bags. Protect your credit cards. Keep them in RFID cases. Let the credit card company know you're traveling. Okay. And keep them safe. Don't like stick them in a sweater pocket. Put them in some place where um you're going to know if someone's reaching into the pocket. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And also be aware that there are scammers out there.
Yeah.
Because I got a call the other day, literally yesterday, and the caller ID said Wells Fargo, which is my bank. And they called me by name, but they called me Chris. And that's not the name on all of my banking stuff. But he had the voice down. He had like the voice down, but he did a couple little things wrong. So I have had the fraud department contact me preemptively once, but they did some very specific things. They listed the exact transactions and where it was, how much it was for, but they listed multiple transactions. They're like, is this yours? Is this yours? They listed like 5 until I got to one that was mine. So they were listing transactions to me. So this guy was like, oh, we stopped it for you. And now I was just traveling at a trade show. So I'm thinking there was a possibility something happened while I had my card out, or I had my card out at an airport the same time a scanner had this, scanning the card, whatever. I'm like, this could be a thing. Until he sends me a link, he's like, oh, you're going to have to reset all your passwords. I just texted you a link. Tell me when you get that and click on it to reset your passwords. And I'm like,
No. Okay.
No, I'm going to call the Wells Fargo fraud department and double check everything before I click. And I'm like, hello? Oh, scammer hung up the phone. And then I called the Wells Fargo. And by the way, I forwarded them that text so they could report it.
All right. So I had a scammer call from a fraud. Again, I'm at a trade show, so you just almost kind of expect this. All right. But they wanted me to verify my credit card number. And I'm like, you guys called me. I'm assuming you have my credit card number. If you are indeed the bank. But we need you to that's nice. You know what? I'm going to call myself. And again, the whole click. They have your credit card number. They do not need you to tell them what the number is.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. So
what other responsibilities do attendees have at trade shows? Be personally responsible for yourself.
All right. Be aware that the people putting on the show are
people.
Yeah.
Humans.
Human beings putting on the show. All right.
Don't be a dick. That's what I'm saying. Please.
They are doing the best they can. They have hundreds of people making requests of them. Again, be a human being.
Disclaimer. I don't think I ran into any dicks attending. Everyone was lovely at the Rocky Mountain Groom Expo. They were fantastic. There was for a first time show, there were hiccups, but there was a lot done right as well. So no attendees, because I love y'all. I'm not calling out anybody.
No, we're not calling out. This is like just general.
Like I've seen
so many trade shows.
I have seen some things, not recently, Mostly it's people showing up at like 3 p.m. on a Sunday with 40 shears to sharpen. And they want it done for less than we usually charge. And they want it done now. Normally, that's the worst behavior we see, but I know showrunners have even a greater exposure to the public.
Okay. So just remember, everyone's doing the best that they can. You're there to have fun. You're there to network with other people. Have fun and network with other people. All right. A little bit of grace goes a long way. Anything that is truly a problem, then you let the trade show. That can't just appear out of magic, out of thin air.
That just appeared out of magic and out of thin air. And if you just heard a disembodied voice telling my dog to hold it.
Okay,
is
so then you
Pam's
let
one and only
the trade
appearance.
show know that this was a problem so that they're aware of it. All right. All right, so let's take our second commercial, Chris, and then we're going to move on to speaker responsibilities.
Yeah, we will. While I savor this, because we've been using the Soda Stream and not actually picked up soda in a very long time. So this is a splurge, and I'm just going to savor quietly while we listen to a word from our sponsors.
And speaking of continuing education, because we either were or will be, join the Andis world-class education team each month for live interactive virtual classes. You'll learn new and trending styles, as well as tips and tricks from some of the best groomers in the industry. Whether you're looking for basic skills, trending styles, advanced techniques, or even just ways to spark your creativity, the new Andis grooming education site is your source for finding what you need to create your way for success. Try new techniques, learn from the pros, and grow your confidence today at andis.com/groomer education. Traveling Groomer Podcast listeners, hey, that's you, can get 25% off your first course today with the code VEGROOMING at checkout on andis.com/groomer education.
All right, so let me start off with a quick story on speakers, right? So my very first trade show was Groom Expo in Hershey, and I took a bunch of classes. So I took a class with Sue Zecco, and I took a class with a bunch of other speakers. And I saw Sue in the hallway, and I just like got off my nerve to ask her a question, and she was so delightful. She was like, "I'm on my way to another class. Just come walk with me, and I'll answer your question." Okay. Wow. Okay. Now let's fast forward a little bit, and I see another speaker who, and I will just refer to her as Speaker B. That's it. And I blame Sue for this because Sue gave me the confidence to go speak to somebody else because, speakers are always just such nice people, and they just want to come and help you. All right. And when I asked my question, she turned around and deadpanned me in my face and said, "If you were paying attention in class, you would know the answer to that."
Maybe if you were a better educator, I would have caught it.
Yeah, I'm thinking, obviously not, because I was paying attention in class.
And I mean, no, shit happens.
Yeah.
I'm very ADD brain, and you may be the best educator in the world, and I may be pretty darn focused, but had a squirrel moment and missed something because my brain, it sneaks away.
Well, there's
run away. I'm focusing, and all of a sudden I'm thinking about something completely unrelated. I'm like, shit, I was focusing. What happened?
But one of the things that did teach me as an educator myself is that people learn in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So part of the lesson I learned from that, okay, was A, I'm not taking any more of her classes. And B, that maybe she thinks she explained it, but I just didn't understand the explanation. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and that's fine too. What I have issue with was how rude she was to me. And I think had it been reversed, that I would have talked to her first, I never would have had the courage to talk to Suzeko after that.
Well, thank God.
So
you
the
talked to
point
Sue
is,
first.
part of the responsibilities, and we, Chris and I will both tell you as speakers, sometimes we're running a little ragged at shows.
I was about to say, there is a chance that the best person will be running from point A to point B going, I have exactly 4.3 minutes to pee before I need to be either back behind the booth or in another class or somewhere. So that could happen, but I would hope that if I get approached at that moment, I at least will have the wherewithal to say, oh, that's a really good question. I can't get into that right now, but I want to see me at the evolution booth later. Or that's why I give out my phone number.
Yeah.
In the beginning, if you have problems, text me. Here is my Facebook. Here is my Facebook disclaimer. Here is my actual factual cell phone number.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. So I think as an educator, there's things that I need to be responsible for. Okay. So
Mhm.
what I'm responsible for is being to the class on time. I mean, all right. And just to like counter this just a little bit. All right. Beth and I were on the New Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah.
And we're chit chatting on our way to Integrum. And the next thing we know, we're halfway to Delaware. Okay.
There's a sign. There's some street signs by my house that I looked at and thought of you. And I'm like, that is all because it was like, I'll take a picture of it for Mary and for you guys. We'll post it. But it's at some kind of intersection, but there's like, it says no right turn and no left turn, but there's no straight. Like there's no, like you have to do one of those. It's and because I know the intersection, it almost makes sense to me. But if I didn't know the intersection, I would be frozen for like a couple seconds going, what the fuck? What the fuck, Jersey? I can say that. You can't.
Okay, so we had to get off the next exit, which was probably still freaking 20 miles away because, it's the turnpike, turn around, go back. And we literally made it to the class, got the class set up with like 20 seconds to spare, literally sat down, said I had a sigh of relief, and everybody started walking in. Okay. But that was really close. I was really close. Okay. Sometimes we can't account for travel.
Oh,
all right.
Oh, that happened once at Pasadena. Because I'm normally a half hour early for classes. I really am. I like to get there a half hour before it starts and make sure all my tech is working and set up. But that's a busy show. And I was at the booth and I got in the middle of talking to someone about the shears. And then all of a sudden looked at my watch and said, my class is starting. Oh, and I like freaked out, ran. I didn't know where Mary.
Yeah, I see. Now I set alarms. So a half hour before a class
now.
starts, I set an alarm and be like, oh, I got to go be somewhere. Just to make sure. But okay, so part of
that now.
so part of the responsibility is we are responsible for our programs, meaning our PowerPoints, any materials that we have. Most importantly, do we have cords for our computer?
Do we have adapters for our computer?
Yes.
That they have adapters because the projectors they use, it varies by convention center, and most of them use the HDMI. But I've been to hotels where they had the old ones with the little
pins. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
okay. And especially if you prefer Apple products, bring your adapters because they may have a Apple adapter and there might be 12 classes going on, half of which have Apple. Okay.
Mhm.
So you bring, but they'll have a ton of PC adapters. So bring it. And I also, before I go, I upload everything to my Google Drive so
Mhm.
that if something happens to my computer, I can at least access my drive folder and my stuff on it from another computer. Okay. So we have to be responsible for what it is we are actually teaching.
Well, that happened to Angie at
Yep.
Atlanta.
Yeah. She had her computer
Because
stolen.
her computer was stolen on the way. They asked her to check a bag. You know, when they ask you to check a bag at the
Yeah.
gate, and she checked her carry-on, not thinking her computer was in there. And then she went to the night before the class, like late in the evening. Oh, let me pull everything up. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Where is my computer?
But
Well,
Angie's
because-
prepared because she has thumb drives and
Mhm.
all those sorts of good things. So she was able to use another computer. All
Yeah.
right. So make sure you have another form. And I can remember being at APF when it was at the Hilton. Okay.
Mhm.
And I thought I had my program on the computer I brought, but I did not. But fortunately, it was in the drive folder. It was still my computer. I just didn't have it on there.
Right.
And here's a little tip. You do not have to check your computer as a check-in. Okay.
No.
You do not have to do that. All right. My computer's in here. I can't do it. The other excuse you can use that they cannot argue with is I have medications in here.
Yeah.
I can't check this bag. It's got my medications. You don't have to tell them it's a bottle of Tylenol. Okay. It's your medications.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And
Uh,
so I think we, as speakers, we also have to recognize that we all started somewhere. We all started as a brand new, wet behind the ears groomer, depending on the kindness of strangers, Chris. All right. And to kind of remember that when no matter how well known someone is in the industry, it is not an excuse to be condescending and rude.
so basically, don't be a dick to anybody.
Yes. Don't be a dick. And that
Uh,
goes on all sides.
don't yell at showrunners. Don't really try not to yell at anybody. Not
Yeah.
at the show. Like if you got a problem with somebody, I'm all for let's talk about this later.
Yeah.
Like I'm all for if I got a problem with somebody, we'll talk. Oh, I'm not gonna name names, but I had a misunderstanding with someone over Facebook Messenger right before Hershey. And I got chewed out over something someone else did and said. And if you don't, and I was trying to all through the show, I was trying to find this person. If you don't think I ambushed them outside the Barkley Honors Awards and said, we got to talk, I did. And this was right after, because that's the only time I could pin them down. They were about to get their picture taken for stuff. And I'm like, nah, we got to talk, Jersey.
Okay. And so when this is over, you're going to tell
I'll
me
tell you
that.
all about it.
Okay, good. Because I don't think I heard that. And I'm kind of surprised I did not hear that.
You know what? It was a while ago. So I maybe you did and you forgot. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway, it's not that y'all, you're not missing anything. It was a misunderstanding. They realized it. They apologized. I said, cool. Yeah, we're good. We were good.
Okay.
But yeah, don't be a jerk. And it doesn't matter if this is the first show this person or organization has put on, or the 500th show the person or organization has put on. If you are a speaker and you need something, projector for your PowerPoint, a demo dog, a grooming table, it is your responsibility to tell that person what you need. That you need, say, a demo dog or a projector. And if it doesn't get there, that does not give you an excuse to be rude to anyone. And then if you're going on a mission to get it, you need to communicate that with the showrunner because they got a plan. Regardless of what you're doing, they have to plan, and they also have a responsibility to all those attendees.
Yeah. So there's a lot of there's a lot of moving parts to it. So if you want things to go smoothly, communication is key to anything running smoothly. And like I said, if there's a real problem, then you let them know that, but you let them know that in a professional manner, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right.
But let them know that, like, what you need before the show, maybe.
Yeah, that would help.
Give them some warning. Give them.
Yeah,
some
I'm
notice.
I'm glad that the classes that I teach don't require live dogs.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm glad I have never had to deal with that particular part of being a speaker. And anytime I needed a dog, a stuffed dog will do.
Yeah. And I'm gonna call myself out. I'm gonna call myself out because I made that mistake. Because I assumed that they read the description of the class where it clearly states grooming demonstration and demo dog, and I didn't have a conversation with anyone beforehand. And I showed up and there wasn't a dog. So I'm gonna call me out on that because I have made that mistake, but I wasn't a dick to anyone. And I had a plan B because I'm a goddamn professional. I always have a plan B. Usually plans B, C, D, and E.
Okay, cool. All right, shall we take another commercial break?
Yes, we shall. Absolutely. Press this button.
As a house call groomer, the idea of van and generator maintenance had kept me out of one for years. But Hanvey Engineering and Design has been making mobile grooming vans for 20 years now and has thought of that. No generator to maintain, repair, and replace. No propane to fill or worry about running out in the middle of winter. Hanvey vans have the lowest operating costs out there. I know I'm sold, but check out their latest innovations for yourself at hanvey.com.
Okay, so you know what came in the mail yesterday, Chris?
I saw pictures.
Box of goodies.
Box of goodies for the
Super
live
Zoo.
show that we're recording at WPA at Super Zoo, guys.
It's going
Super
to
Zoo.
be a crossover episode because it's going to be Women Petpreneurs and Traveling Groomers Podcast because I need to consolidate some things that I'm on when I'm down in Vegas. Okay, so it's a crossover show, but we got goodies for our sponsors. All right, so far I literally got a box of Ray Pet towels,
Ooh,
and our stickers came, Chris.
I saw the stickers. What?
Yeah. So the stickers are We Digress. And you know that how?
You know that how? Oh, he almost died.
And we'll have more stuff. Okay. Positive Ed is going to, and this is going to be limited. So you're literally going to have to be the first person once the podcast starts to say, hey, Mary, give me that cup. Because there's one of them.
Oh, wait, you didn't even order backups for, oh, wait, no, I did get one. Okay.
You
I
got
did get
one.
I got one. I'm all right now. I'm all right now. I was about to be all like,
And I have a notebook and a pen for the show to a second person. So you can't get both. Get one or the other.
okay. And they're giving us a room for it.
Yeah.
So you can actually just chill there and be a part of the show. You can watch live. We'll throw swag at you.
Yeah, we got a lot of towels to throw. And anyone who wants to come on air, please do so.
Yep. I will have the mics and the sound.
Good. So it's going to be the Tuesday, which is the 15th of August, between 4 and 5 in Islander H. It's one of the classrooms at the show.
So exciting.
And we
So,
may
and by
have
the
some
way-
other stuff. I'm not going to say anything I don't actually physically have in hand.
Yes, but we will have other stuff there. And I'm very excited because this is, and I'm not 100% reading this. This is North America's largest and most comprehensive marketplace for the pet industry. So it is not just grooming, it is the entire pet industry.
Yeah.
Which I gotta say is pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
The first aid classes are sold out already. If you have any interest in being, you have to go on a waiting list. But I don't get numbers for any other class. It's just the first aid classes. Both of them are totally sold out.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's some good education there. I'm teaching a class on Tuesday.
I have one on Wednesday too.
Don't ask me what class it is right now.
Yeah, I know I gotta look at the schedule. Don't ask me what my schedule is for Hershey because I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to pull it up and look at. But you know, Chris, I'm going to make an attempt to sign up for whatever they call the rescue
The
rodeo.
rescue rodeo? Oh, wait, I have dates for you.
I know I've already got people sending me the screenshots of when it is.
Good.
So we're going to make that attempt. I have to dig out my grooming equipment. I don't even think I have a smock anymore because I got rid of them all.
You know what, Mary?
What?
Why don't you see if you can get in before you dig out your grooming equipment and smock? Because it's not easy. What are you?
Yes.
Your own farts for a dog.
I'm going to light a candle and create a grid.
I say you light a cancel too.
Light a
Who are we
candle.
canceling? What? No, just kidding. We're not canceling anyone. Good Lord.
Too bad it's not in person. That you can't just shove people out of your way. Because I got body weight to do that.
That would be, oh my God, they could never do that in person. That would make all the Black Friday tramplings look like kindergarten playtime.
Oh my God. Can you think of the Mad Max costumes people would have to wear?
Oh yeah.
The little blades on the shoulders and
like spikes. No, it would be bad, Mary. It would be extra bad. All bad.
So somebody's going to have to make a meme of groomers trying to register, and we want it to be really Mad Maxy. So somebody hop to it.
It's terrifying.
It would be. It would be.
But
okay, moving it along.
I think we covered speakers' responsibilities at trade shows, but yeah, just also acknowledge people learn differently.
Yeah.
And if they ask you a question over something you thought was really, really clear, it was obviously not clear to them. And it is your job as an educator.
Yeah. So my thoughts on this is that teachers' responsibility is to teach, but students' responsibility is to learn. So if you don't understand it, it's your responsibility to say, hey, I didn't understand that, so that the teacher can fulfill their responsibility in teaching you.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to ask questions in the class, because I may have had a caffeine or lack of caffeine induced moment and not said something as clearly as I thought it was. And maybe you're not the only one who misunderstood.
Yeah. But the one thing I will say as far as attendees, if you have a question, ask the question.
Mhm.
All right. We have limited time to teach. So adding a story with it might help to clarify, but there's that whole time thing.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Okay. So
So we have two commercials, and I think our self-care segment is going to be a little bit longer than usual today
I think so too.
because we have some things to get into. So we'll get into the meat, and then we'll take a commercial, get into the meat, take a commercial, and then I'll be like, and then I did this. That was, lighter, more traditional self-care stuff. But not today this week was heavy. This week was heavy. So yeah, we'll be right back.
Okay, you know I love my Evolution swivel shears, and you even know that these customizable shears come in non-swivel as well. But did you know that they're the only ones I've been trusting my sharpening with for around 15 years, and that's how we met? What? You haven't tried their sharpening yet? If so, send in your next batch of sharpening and you'll get one shear sharpened for free with a $75 order just for telling them where you heard about them. Your shears and blades will thank you.
Okay. So I'll start with mine because mine's quick.
Yours is quick. I also just sent you a picture because my dog is weird.
Okay, well, I'll go look at that in a second.
Okay, but yeah, you
So-
start with you.
All right. So I had posted on Facebook that I was starting to get backaches from sitting in my summer office, my lovely summer office. However, it's basically a bench seat. The cushioning is outdoor furniture cushioning. It's not that great. Okay. And I was getting a backache so bad that it was like in the middle of my back and it's like radiating out. I'm thinking am I having a heart attack or I just got a backache? Go, and I'm of the age where, you know what, if you think you're having a heart attack, pay attention. Okay.
Yes. No, even if you're young and you think you're having a heart attack, please pay attention.
So I put the post up on Facebook. I had a lot of suggestions and I settled on a $90 purple pillow for myself and one for my husband.
Oh, you got the purple pillow?
I got the purple one.
Oh, how is that?
It's nice and cushy.
Cushy is good.
And for a while there, I had to fight one of my dogs because he was sitting on it. And it's like, you know what? This is my pillow now. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's my pillow.
I wonder if they make a dog bed.
They probably do, but Chris, do you have any idea how many dog beds I have in my house? I have four
that's not
little
the point.
dogs.
That's
I
not
know
the
it's not the
point.
point. I have
Purple.
four.
If you're listening, you make a dog bed and we need the one to review because it's our idea. Clearly, you couldn't have thought of that on your own.
Yes, clearly. So, let us know. We could be influencers, right, Chris?
Oh, totally.
Totally. But anyway, so we digress. So got one for me, one for my husband, and it's been lovely. So yeah, $90 well spent. Even my husband right now is sitting on it. He doesn't ever sit on those things. He's sitting on it right now. But he's probably going to tell me later, well, I'm only sitting on it because it's on the sofa.
Because it's on the sofa and you spent all this money on it. So I should use it.
Yeah.
My dog's a spaz. Just randomly. So I had an interesting week self-care wise. So you may have noticed once again, if you follow dates very carefully, that we're recording on a Friday.
Yes.
So this was how my week went. I got back between 12:30 and 1 in the morning, Tuesday morning. Yeah. With her head, the picture of my dog with her head, like half under the desk. You're going to have to like smack that up on the show notes now. But
Well, it's actually now in the recordings. So if you're watching the YouTube, you
oh,
can see
okay, there we
it.
go. I don't know how that's comfortable, but there you go. So in theory, I had Tuesday off. However, Tuesday, let's see, I had physical therapy in the morning. I forget what I had after that. I had a doctor's appointment. I had a podiatrist appointment in the afternoon. Physical therapy, come home, have lunch, take hubby to a doctor's appointment, go to reschedule my podiatrist appointment to a little bit later, because in case you missed last week's live episode, or 2 weeks ago now, by the time this aired, I twisted an already weak ankle at Colorado Springs. So I'm like, fine, let me go to the podiatrist. I clearly need to. He gave me a boot. Mary, I am going to write a doctorate on how I hate this boot and why it is no good for me. Here you go, take it away from me, will be the title, before I set it on fire. So I tried to be a good little patient, and I wore the boot all day on Wednesday to groom. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have never hurt yourself where you have to wear one of these boots, it's not meant for standing all day. So it doesn't have any cushion in it. It also doesn't have any actual arch support in it. So I had to wear my brace under my boot, because even though it was keeping my ankles straight, it wasn't keeping my ankle all the way straight. And it was just, Mary, it was a shit show. It was a shit show. So midway through the day, Wednesday, this is how you know I was not doing well. I rescheduled all of my Thursday appointments. I went, since I hurt this, I then proceeded to work the trade show and travel home and run around to doctor's appointments. And I didn't take an entire day and just put it up and ice it. I didn't do that. I rescheduled my Thursday. Which is a minor miracle in and of itself. And then I came on.
And that's how I knew you weren't feeling well. You told me you rescheduled on Thursday. I'm like, holy cow, she rescheduled an entire day. I have to scream at her to do that.
Right? Like my husband's the same way. Like, no joke, when I had my gallbladder out, and when I said we're calling an Uber to take me to the hospital, he was like, oh, fuck, she's dying. She's rescheduling her appointments and taking an Uber. She's dying. Oh, what am I going to do? So, by the way, when I say in my wellness classes, I teach these as reminders to myself, I'm not fucking bullshitting anyone, because I need to smack myself upside the head to take my own goddamn advice. So then I've been wearing this god-awful boot all day. It was not comfortable. I was in discomfort. Oh, it's time to take a painkiller. And I didn't even realize that. So I'm clearly doing better today. And the dog was acting up, and Mary made a snarky comment, and I lost my shit. Like, I lost all shit that I've probably been holding on to since grammar school. Like, and I mean, compared to Mary, I'm an emotional crier, but that was like uncalled for. That was like some kind of hormonal weirdness. And I'm still trying to record the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm like,
seriously, it's like,
I just need 5 minutes to pull my stuff together. And Mary's like, Chris, let's talk. I was not having a good day.
No, she was not. And, and then she thought we would do the podcast tomorrow, yesterday. And I'm like, oh, we're not doing it tomorrow. We're not doing it on Thursday either. She's unfortunately going to have 2 full days off. So here we are on Friday.
So here we are on Friday. By the way, I walked around like this much, like a little teeny bit, but I spent the majority of the day on my reclining sofa with my feet up. My husband cooked dinner. He brought me things. I don't laugh unless you're neurodiverse and don't cook. He made mashed potatoes for the first time, and I walked him through that. And he did a good job. He cooked this. I hit the button on the recliner to sit up for a minute. And he's like, what you getting? What are you doing? Why are you getting up? I can bring it for you. I can bring it to you. And I'm like, I'm sitting on the throw. I'm just getting the throw. I'm just wrapping the throw around myself. I'm fine. I'm not going anywhere. Like, he yelled at me like 14 times.
Right, but you feel better from taking that time off, correct?
Oh my God, I feel a lot better. I also only wore the boot half of the day today. And then I went, fuck this noise. I had the sneaker in my car. I changed and I started feeling better immediately.
Okay, good. Good. All right, shall we take our last commercial?
We will take our last commercial break now.
I love being a house call groomer, but I hate doing laundry or worrying about asking my clients for fresh towels. Raypet has solved those problems for me with the Wet Pet disposable towel, taking up much less space than traditional cotton towels and easy to wring out and reuse. These super soft, comfy, absorbent towels eliminate any cross-contamination concerns between pets. And now their new smaller washcloth size can even help those sensitive eye areas. Great for cleaning out wrinkles gently and thoroughly. Need to keep water bowls for your clients on hand that are easy to disinfect, but hate all the room traditional clanky metal bowls take up? Or just have a very active pet? Their collapsible silicone bowl comes with an aluminum D-ring hook that can be attached to your pet's leash or anywhere else in your van for easy storage. You can get one by itself or in their handy travel kit, along with a set of 3 tick removers and 1 small wet pet towel. So stop by their website to check it out, raypet.net, and tell them the Traveling Groomers sent you.
That's us. We're the Traveling Groomers.
Okay. So what are your plans for the rest of the week to take care of yourself, Chris?
Well, I got a flexible ice pack to wrap around my ankle.
Ooh.
So that's going to be a thing. I made doctor's appointments.
Hey,
to
this
take care of
flexible
Yes.
ice pack.
Yes.
Is it something that you can travel with?
Yes, but what we're going to do for travel, because it is something I could travel with, but it adds weight to the suitcase.
Oh.
However, Ziploc, all hotels have ice machines. I'm going to travel with extra Ziploc bags, and Mindy was going to look for one of those old-fashioned ice bags.
Oh, okay.
Because
You know what? They're
those-
really not all 100% waterproof.
They're not 100% waterproof, but then neither really is a Ziploc bag.
You know what we picked up? All right.
What?
And this is through our insurance company. So we have something that they like want us to be like really healthy and stuff like that and take care of ourselves. So they sent us something called an ENSO unit, ENSO. Yeah. It's basically like a TENS unit without wires.
Oh, my TENS unit doesn't have wires though.
Okay. It's small. It has the little gel pads. So it's like one big pad, and you could put it we have them the pads, the ones that are probably about maybe 3-4 inches. I mean, they're good for like shoulders and knees, but then they got a back one too. So you just smack it on your back and you use your phone to increase or decrease the frequency of it.
Unpaid sponsorship, X Pain Solutions, which now only comes to they used to do a lot more trade shows. Now they're in Alaska, so they just do the Pacific Northwest show, but they're still online. Their TENS unit is now wireless. So it's the TENS unit with all the things and all the different pads, and then the things to snap to the pads. And so I can still use all the cool attachments I have by them, but it's wireless.
Okay. I like mine. It's free. Came with my insurance.
Okay, that's
So there's that.
a big fucking plus. I'm not gonna lie about that. Love X Pain, but that's get your insurance to pay for stuff if you can. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So so that's great. I'm gonna try to see if I can bring it to Super Zoo because I'm pretty sure that's a lot of walking.
Oh, I'm going to count this as self-care. One of the 1,000 little things, because when you get stressed to that level, and I 100% was like, I was stressed out of my mind. Any little stressor seems huge, and it's like death of 1,000 cuts. So one of the things that annoyed me is a lot of this work going on around my house had been started like while I was away. And I am a control enthusiast. So it was difficult. It was a lot of lessons in letting go, but I didn't notice until way too late. And some point on Wednesday that a lilac bush that I had planted got removed.
You see, I'm really fond of lilacs. That might have sent me if someone ripped out my lilac bush because I only have one. All right.
Yeah, I only had one. I don't have a big yard. I had one, and it was right near my bedroom window. And it's such an early spring bloomer. I know it's a strong fragrance. You either love it or you don't. I love it. It's that first spring perfume. And I realized it, and I felt stupid for taking me 2 days to realize it was gone. I told him we need to replace that and we need to put another lilac. If he needs to move something that just got put there, we can move it. We can move something because that's getting put back. So to me, that was self-care because I needed that in my life. They tried to be like, it was overgrown, it was not pruned, and it was too big. And I'm like, I told you to leave it. Now you need to replace it.
And lilacs have to be planted in an early spring. So not even, yeah, they do. For best, just say for best, they should be planted in early spring. It is hard for me to even get a lilac bush unless it's spring in this area up here.
Yeah.
So if I hesitate too long, the lilac bushes are already gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to put some around my gazebo.
Ooh, you know what you should put around your gazebo?
What's that?
Honeysuckle.
Yeah, I think I could do that.
Because if you've never tasted honeysuckle nectar, you are missing out.
But here's the thing, okay? So we're going to go paint the gazebo this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the intention of, power washing the gazebo and painting in. And the theory is it would have been done already, except that swallows made a nest in it.
Oh, yeah.
They will dive bomb you to protect that nest. So now we got to wait for the babies to go so that we can, power wash it and smack some paint on that.
we had robins make a nest right above where I normally grill. So I moved my grill and I thought I was safe. But then I realized they have 2 to 3 clutches a year. So no, one set of babies moved out because we got to see babies. It was awesome. And then she had another set, but I haven't seen her in a little bit. I think the roofing and them doing the siding and stuff, even though I told them not to bother the nest, it might have just been too close.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get up on a ladder and check to make sure there's no babies in there before we start the power washing thing. But we've seen babies flying, so we're hoping that they're done with the nest and that they're all healthy adults. We can evict them so we can clean, and paint it, and they can come back next year.
Nice.
Yeah, because I didn't want to
Nice.
plant anything by the gazebo because we had to power wash it and paint it. Plants would get in the
Whoa.
way.
So then you power wash it and paint it as early as humanly possible when it's still chilly. So then you can plant.
Yeah, no, but if we get to it before the end of the season, I could plant come early next year
Yeah,
and start
that's
some
true.
plantings.
That's true.
I'm gonna have to look at honeysuckle now.
Yes. And have you
Does
eaten
honeysuckle have a
nectar?
trellis? Is it trellis?
Yes. Yes. There are different ones, but there's climbing ones. Yeah.
Then I definitely got to look into the whole climbing honeysuckle.
Nice. And because I made a point of getting home and watering my brand new sod, guess what it is doing right now?
Of course, it's raining.
It's raining. It's thunderstorm. It's raining. So
Oh, you know what? I miss thunderstorms. I've been here 4 years and we've had like a thunderstorm. I mean, it rains a lot, but we don't get thunderstorms. I don't know why.
I used to really like them a lot more when I was a kid until a couple of hurricanes done me wrong. And now I'm a little not so much.
Well, okay, but to put that hurricane into perspective, you basically got a brand new house, right?
No, that is true. That last hurricane, that was a little bit of a blessing in disguise. We got basically a brand new house. Now the outside, I can't believe the outside is getting fixed up. I'm just in awe of everything happening right now. And yeah.
Okay,
it's a big
so we should wrap this up.
Yep. So on that note of sometimes bad things happen for ultimately good reasons that we can't see at the moment. I mean, sometimes bad things are just bad things, but sometimes maybe not so much. Anyway, guys, safe travels out there. And remember, as you travel, don't be a dick. That would have been cooler if I'd have been prepped. There we go.
Well, that was fun, but now it's time to head home. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed chatting with you. If there are any topics you'd like us to discuss or guests you want to see join us on this crazy road trip of ours, let us know in the Traveling Groomers Facebook page. Don't forget to thank our sponsors. And see you next week, guys. Safe travels.